guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Powers Season 1, Episode 1, the series premiere of this new TV show. So if you haven't heard what Powers is, it's a PlayStation original show, so it's the first PlayStation original show. It's only going to be playing on PlayStation, but the first episode did air on YouTube, free, so if you want to check it out, and if you have PlayStation and you want to see if you want to buy this show, you can check out the first episode on YouTube, and that's what I did. I personally was interested in this show, but not originally. When I first saw the trailer for the show, I was like, I don't really know. I don't like that it's only PlayStation exclusive, so not a lot of people are not going to be able to see this show. But then I went to New York Comic Con, and the panel before Stephen Amell's panel, which it's a coincidence I'm wearing my Stephen Amell shirt, was Powers. So I was like, okay, I'll check it out, and I was impressed by it, or at least intrigued in watching the first episode of the show, because originally I wasn't going to watch the first episode, but I never really knew what the premise was about, and then I learned a little bit more about the show, and I was like, alright, let me watch the first episode. So that is what I did today. I watched the first episode, and mostly this show is about this guy named Chris Walker. And he used to have superpowers in a world where there are powers. There are people that don't have powers, people that do have powers, wannabes who want powers, evil people who used to have powers. There's just a lot of different culture going on with these powers. Really world building in this first episode. Now, our main character used to be a power in one of the originals, and he used to be on top. His name used to be Diamond, and his powers were taken away from him by this, one of his partners, I would say, but then turned villain, Wolf. And it seems like Wolf is definitely going to be this main antagonist for Walker, and Walker's just trying to deal with not having powers and being part of the Powers Division, which is the police that try to hunt down powers, people that are doing wrongly with their powers. And the other story going on besides our main character is that our main character gets a partner, and her name's Pilgrim, and she just wanted to help Walker out, wants to be his partner, but they are not really sticking together at this point. Walker is definitely pushing Pilgrim away. And now the story that's going on with this girl is that there's this girl named Christella, and she is a wannabe. She wants superpowers. She believes she has them, but really doesn't. And she goes through obstacles, goes through bad people to try to get powers. And there's this drug that she's kind of passing along just to get these powers. And this drug, we don't know much about it, but it seems it destroys people with powers and also makes people with powers get a boost in a way. So we don't know much about the drug, but it seems like that's going to be more of a main story for the season. So that's pretty much the premise of this show. There's a lot of information in this first episode. Just trying to describe the summary. There's actually a lot of world building here, and I really enjoyed the world of Powers. I like that it's very unique. You get to see a lot of flying in this show, and my personal thing that I really enjoyed the most about this show was Walker himself. I like that the one line I really love about this episode is this teenage girl with powers who idolizes Diamond. She says, I always thought that you were Diamond even without your powers, but now you're just Walker because you're walking and not flying. And I really enjoyed that line because this episode is just exploring Walker and his psyche in a way, with him not being a hero anymore. It seems like he's okay with it, but really it's him dealing with not being okay with it, and you see these sudden outbursts. And my favorite scene of the episode is when, this is a bit of a spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen the episode, is when Christella believes that she can fly. She wants to be like Retro Girl, and that's really her goal. She falls off the building, and she believes she can fly, and Walker also jumps off the building to try to think he's gonna fly, but Retro Girl's the one ends up saving both of them, because Christella and Walker can't fly. They're both wannabes, in a way. And Walker has this whole speech of it's okay to be normal, but if it's okay to be normal, then he wouldn't have jumped off that building because he wants these powers. And it's that build up throughout the whole episode of him wanting these powers and wanting his life back in a way, and him adjusting to this new life. So I really enjoyed Walker as a character. Now, some of the downsides of this episode, I would say, besides Walker, some of the characters I do feel like needs a little bit of meat. Pilgrim being one of them. I'm sure she's a really cool character in the comics, but I got her attitude, but wanted definitely more background. She just needed a bit more in this episode, especially since she's a main character of the show. I think we got more from Cristela, which is, I guess, going to be a secondary character of the show than we did with Pilgrim. So we definitely need more from her. That was a disappointment. Also, the villain, I don't know what to really say about him yet. Feels like kind of the over-dramatic villain, and I don't know how to feel about that. This is a very over-dramatic show in a lot of ways, but I think it works for the world it's trying to build. But I think maybe the villain was a bit too over the top, but hopefully that story will continue and you'll get used to it, I guess. But yeah, overall, I don't know if this made me feel attached to the show. I liked Walker as a character, like I said, but it's like going out of your way to get this on PlayStation is, I think, the hard thing. If this show was just on probably cable, I wouldn't say network television, like FX or something, I'll be like, yeah, I'll try out the next episode, see what happens. But it's a lot harder to say, oh, I gotta buy this episode, go on PlayStation. I think that's actually really something that brings you back from the episode, makes you step back from the show. It's like, oh, I don't really want to buy this this TV show. Maybe when the season comes out, I would want to buy it, but yeah, so I think that's really a letdown for the show. But also, I just want to talk about Cristela's character, because I thought she was really interesting, and I hope we see even more of her character, but she seems like a character that won't be in the show every episode. Retro Girl was also very a mysterious character, and hopefully we'll learn more about her. So those are just some things I want to talk about there. But yeah, overall, I'm going to give Powers 3.5 stars. I thought there's some really good stuff here. Character building, the world building was great, but there are some negatives to the show. I do think a lot of the other characters do need to be built besides Walker. I want to like the supporting cast a bit more, and the villain, of course, and kind of that story. There is some over-the-top stuff in this episode, but I'm going to try episode 2 and 3. I already promised, because we're going to have a Powers Media Madness. So if you guys want more Powers, on Thursday, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have a Powers podcast, and our special guest is going to be Jacob from the Superhero Podcast, who's going to be joining us. So if you want more on Powers, we're going to try to watch episode 2 and 3 also, but we're definitely going to talk about episode 1, and join us there. That way you can talk more Powers, and we'll see if we like the show as a whole, especially if you watched episode 2 and 3, see how much that the show has grown from there. So that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think give the first episode a try, see if it's for you. The show is definitely not for everybody. Again, it is over dramatic, but I say give the show a try. I'm going to try the second and third episode, see where it goes. So hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there's links for my comic book, Like Father Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later.